Hi, and welcome to our weekly Gnostic practice. This week, we're going to talk about the art of solving problems. There are many different kinds of problems, like economic, social, moral, political, religious, family-related, etc. If we want to be successful in life, we should learn how to intelligently solve them. This may require that we adopt a new method, a revolutionary method in order to obtain the intended results. We need to utilize the heart to comprehend our problems. The solution to our problems are in the problem itself. Solving problems is an art, and it is very simple. When difficulties arise, we have the greatest opportunities to take advantage of the adversity. Welcome the problems with an open, happy heart. The ordinary person resists and avoids problems, thereby increasing problems. It is better not to become identified with the problem or the solution to the problem. Don't think about it or become fixated on it, because the mind cannot solve your problems. It is important that we change how we view these problems. You have probably heard that problems are in fact opportunities, but that is only true if one knows how to wisely take advantage of the adversity. Every problem presents within itself the solution. Utilize problems to increase virtue and to revolutionize your consciousness, and a victory will always be obtained. I would like to share a personal story that happened to me many years ago. One time when I was finishing college, I was applying for this safety engineer job. The company flew me out to another state for this 2-day panel interview. They also rented me a car. Back at that time, there were no smartphones or maps on the phone. I had to print out the directions. On my way to the interview, I was holding the papers and I was trying to read a map because I was unfamiliar with the area. I made a lane change and a car hit me from behind, causing a lot of damage, but luckily no one was injured. The police came and I received a citation for making an unsafe lane change. Not only that, I missed the first day of interviews. Now imagine, I was applying for this safety engineer job and I had to call my future employer to tell them that I just got a ticket for making an unsafe lane change. And not only that, I totaled the car and I was not going to make it to the interview. It was not looking very favorable, but I remained calm and optimistic. They told me I didn't have to go to the dinner that night, but I insisted that I was going to get another car and meet them and the other candidates there anyway. I went to the dinner. I never talked about the problem or what had happened at all, and I was very cheerful. While I was in the conversation about the second day of interviews, the meeting location came up. It was then that I learned that when I was driving to the interview that morning, I was actually going to the wrong location. I did not know that they had multiple buildings, and I used the address from their website. It was then that I realized that with or without the collision, I would not have made it to that interview on time anyways. So the next day, I attended the second day of interviews, and sometime after I received an offer for the job. The company hiring manager told me that they were very impressed with how calm I was in handling the situation with the car collision, and even more so that I attended the dinner that evening with a happy disposition. From that experience, they could see that I work well under pressure and that I would be a good hire for their corporation. You see, something that appeared like a big problem and disadvantage became a huge advantage. Not only that, it was actually favorable that I got into the car collision, because if I didn't, I would have been very late to the interview since I was going to the wrong building. Also, if I didn't get that job, I would have never met my wonderful husband. So you see, these problems became life-changing opportunities. We need to remain calm, like being in the center of a storm. Life events are always changing from good and bad, bad to good. It's better not to be identified or grasp onto or attached to the pleasant events and also to do the same for unpleasant events. Ordinary people always seek pleasure and chase after desires, but these actions always inevitably result in disappointment. When you are here in the center of the circle, you can objectively observe the true nature of these fleeting desires, attachments, and aversions. They always bring you conflict and are the source of all suffering. We must transcend and equilibrate those impressions. We must go beyond the duality. Problems are opportunities. The Master Samael says, the solution to our problems are in the problem itself. All conflicts and problems arise because of the ego. It expresses itself through defects and vice. These qualities are negative expressions and create suffering and problems for ourselves and others. When there's a lack of love, an incorrect expression of virtue, conflicts, illness, and other problems arise. Problems are opportunities to express the highest form of ourselves. Let me give you a couple examples from this table. Every planet has a corresponding virtue. Those virtues are the qualities of the being. When virtue is expressed, right action, a tranquil heart is the result. To solve all your problems, you need to have peace and a tranquil heart. There is a cause and effect to everything. This is karma. A tranquil heart does not just happen because we want it. You have to be at cause and understand how to intelligently create those causes and conditions for that state of peace to naturally arise. If pride is what is causing us problems, then we must simply express humility in place of that pride. When we are humble, we can generate solar faith. Solar faith means faith from conscious experience. When you have real faith, that means you have wisdom from conscious experience. That is why we do practices, to build faith in our being, in right action, and the expression of virtues. How about the vice of jealousy and envy? We need to analyze and see how we express these vices and virtues in our actions, in our emotions, and also in our mind. Yes, even if you think no one knows that you are jealous of them, it creates consequences. It creates conflicts and pain for you and the others, even if they do not know you are secretly envious or jealous of them. I like to look at this in terms of being my own doctor. Virtue is like medicine. It is the antidote to the poison of vice, which always results in conflicts and problems. If we feel jealous in our mind or heart about someone else's accomplishments, being aware in that moment, we can utilize willpower and immediately stop harmful action. By doing this, we harness those winds, that energy. Once we restrain the harmful action, we can then apply the antidote. The antidote to jealousy is happiness for others. We actively rejoice and feel happiness in our heart and mind and celebrate the accomplishments of that individual. We can even go a step further and congratulate them, or even further if you have an opportunity to contribute to their success. If you contribute to their success and celebrate their accomplishments, then, by karmic law, others will also do the same for you. All of your problems of envious ones who sabotage your efforts, who do not support you, will now become your helpers in your success because within you, you have transformed this vice into virtue. What is inside you, you will also experience outside you. If the problem is very challenging, you can also redirect the energy into other activities. You can go for a walk, You can listen to some good music like the symphonies of Beethoven. You can read a good book. Whatever you do, do not focus your attention on the problem, because wherever your attention goes is where your energy will flow. You can't solve a problem if your mind and heart are agitated and consumed about the problem. We need to be receptive. We need to stop thinking and allow the consciousness to flow freely in a state of reception. We also need to remember our being from moment to moment. Put your faith in your being, not your worry or preoccupations. When you find yourself thinking and worrying about the problem, immediately stop and pray and ask your Divine Mother to help you comprehend and put an end to this conflict. She will teach you, but you have to be receptive and you have to rely on your being. Gratefulness. This is a picture of an Egyptian tarot card, Arcana 78, Renaissance. On this card, it is indicating rebirth by the waters coming from his hand, and also victory by the palm tree. The transcendental axiom, which is a truth, gives you an indication of how to achieve that victory. It says, "Sun of midday, moon of midnight, thanks for good or bad fortune." It is easy to be grateful when things are going well in our lives, but when we meet with bad fortune, we need to also be grateful. The ordinary person complains about their difficulties. The ordinary person resists and avoids difficulties, not recognizing the hidden treasures and fruits in it. When we are grateful and open to receive the teachings behind the difficulty, we can then be victorious. If it is a person that you have a difficulty with, you can transform the impression, the judgments, and instead view them as your greatest teacher. Recognize that they are actually being very generous by giving you this difficult situation, this problem. Be grateful for them and express kindness and virtue in exchange for insult and slander. All these problems are opportunities to express virtue and learn about ourselves. Gratefulness opens many doors of possibilities. Always give thanks and really feel it from your heart. Ask your Divine Mother to show you what you need to learn and then open the door to receive. Opening the door to receive means getting out of the way of your full self. It means dropping your resistance to unpleasant events, as well as not identifying with pleasant, happy events. To open the door to receive, you have to be humble and put your faith in your being. Only the mind that is in peace can solve problems. Peace lies in the silence of the mind. We need an inner revolutionary psychology to transform these problems outside us. We know that everything outside us is an extension of the psychology of what is happening to the individuals in society, in us. If we want peace, we need to end those cycles of action that create and result in suffering. Selfishness, vice, defects, error are the result of the myself, the ego. When we express virtue, those qualities of the being, a birth of something new can occur. Virtuous action produces joy and uplifts everyone. They also produce tranquility in the heart. When we express the corresponding virtue instead of the vice, a sacrifice had been made that produces new causes and conditions. When we put these three factors, birth, death, and sacrifice, into motion, from moment to moment, we can revolutionize our consciousness. Peace and tranquility of the heart is born, and problems will cease. That does not mean that all the problems outside you will go away. It means that in the face of difficulty, you are unmoved. You are tranquil at heart, and the external does not unbalance you. You achieve mastery over your senses because you know your true self and you know the true nature of that problem. What may be a problem to another person is not a problem to you because your perspective is expansive. You're unidentified and unmoved by the external life events, and they no longer control you. From this position, you know what right action is to take to equilibrate any problems that come to your direction. You can objectively see the true nature of the problem. So here we are, we're in the practice now. In the practice tonight, we're going to chant the mantra Om Masi Padme Yom. This is the esoteric pronunciation of the famous Om Mani Padme Hum mantra. A brief explanation of what this mantra means is, O God in me. In other lectures, we'll go over more in depth, but for the purpose of the practice tonight, we're going to chant this mantra and we're going to focus on our heart. We will do this for 10 minutes out loud and then say it softer until it's a silent pronunciation. As you do this, concentrate on your heart. Imagine radiant, beautiful rainbow light in the heart expanding out infinitely. After about 10 minutes, we're going to do the retrospection, which means we will utilize the consciousness to show us the events from this day and watch it like a movie in reverse. We will then identify one event from the day where we faced a problem, where we lacked virtue. We will replay that event over and over and watch it, observing and extract the wisdom from it. We will identify what existed behind that contradiction itself. We will discover how our thoughts, emotions, and physical actions were affected. We'll then discover the psychological aggregate. What made you feel happy, or what was it that brought you discontentment? Then we'll rewatch the event with the correct expression of the virtue. Finally, we're going to invoke our Divine Mother, asking her to disintegrate the psychological defect, transforming it into virtue. We will use the mantra Inri, imagining being consumed by a bright fire of 1,000 suns. We will chant the mantra Inri together. Women on their menstrual cycle should not chant the mantra Inri. We will also close by giving thanks to our innermost being, our Father, and chanting the mantra Aum 3 times. So now let us begin. Father of mine, Lord of mine, my true being, my internal God, we invoke you with our soul and with our heart to please lead us in this practice and show us with the greatest clarity our defects. Help us transform and revolutionize our consciousness. So we're going to relax our body by using the mantra Om Masi Padme Yom. Om Masi Padme Yom. Om Masi Padme Yom. Om Masi Padme Yom. Padme Om. Om 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 Padme Padme Om. Om Padme Om. Om Padme Om. Om Padme Om. Om Padme Om. Padme Om. Om Masi 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 Padme Om. Masi Padme Continue to chant the mantra silently. Now we'll begin retrospective exercise, retrospection. Let us now invoke the Divine Mother to disintegrate these defects that we had comprehended. Divine Mother, we invoke you with our soul and with our heart to please disintegrate this defect that we have comprehended. Turn it to cosmic dust and free our consciousness. We're going to do the mantra Inri 7 times. Infinite thanks, Divine Mother and Divine Father, for the illumination. May it all crystallize according to the great law and the universal charity. Aum 3 times. Okay, that concludes our practice. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you're interested in further studies related to this topic, we recommend The Revolutionary Psychology and the Revolution of the Dialectic by the Master Samael Vior. Now we close with this ancient Tibetan Gnostic prayer. May you all be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. Inverential peace.